will go out of his way to get that joint.
She also got a new 52 comic run, which I'm surprised about. And in Rebirth, she was with Batman as his partner, and that's it. That was the last time she had, like, the last time she had her own solo series was in New 52, so around 2011. So that's been like 10 years since she had a solo series.
Okay.
But I honestly kind of don't want to read Catwoman stories or Batman stories, but Batman for a whole nother reason. But because the Tom King thing kind of fell through, the whole marriage shit, it's become it hasn't been enjoyable reading either character. So I'm
You talking about do you feel like you wanted them to be able to be married?
If there was a character that was gonna marry this nigga, it was gonna
Oh
be
my
Catwoman.
god.
If there was a character that was gonna marry. And the worst part is that his relationship with Selena kind of toned down his old bullshit. Bruce's whole character got toned down because of this relationship. And then they went and ultra fucked him, like destroyed his whole shit. Like they killed Alfred. They didn't just kill Alfred. They killed Alfred in front of his son. And then his dad was the one that was plotting on him and is the reason that his marriage fell through. I was just like, I can't even say it's a good story, bro. Even though it's one of the best like Bane runs you'll ever read, but still.
Interesting.
There was a part in these comics, right?
Okay.
And this is a Rebirth comic, right? There's a part in these comics where Batman's fighting Deathstroke, and Deathstroke is explaining to Batman why he is trash at being a superhero, about how he'll never save Gotham because he's not willing to do what it takes type shit. But the whole willing to do what it takes thing, like, it don't make sense for Batman to not kill a portion of his villains. Some of them do and can get help. The Joker has no reason to be alive. I don't care.
It's like literally everyone who seen Joker for 2 seconds is like, he should not be around.
Like, if Superman sees Darkseid, he's gonna put his whole back into beating his ass. But like, he'll go as far as to kill him. You see that in the Justice League cartoon. Like, Superman sees Darkseid and it's only business. The only reason Darkseid's not dead is because Superman can't fully kill this dude. He's just bullshit.
Effectively actually cannot die. In like
It's the same thing with Brainiac, right? Like, there are characters that Superman has that it's on sight when he sees, like, it's to the death type shit. Fucking Joker, I don't care how good the rivalry relationship these two characters have, you cannot have this nigga alive for this long.
It's like,
all right, Adele, stop.
it's just crazy dude that just is left unchecked. That's Joker, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, and for some reason has an incredible healing factor that can rival Wolverine, but that's another thing. But
look, after Lex
you talking about plot armor?
Nothing matters to me anymore.
Man, look,
you talking about plot armor? I don't think he actually heals, right?
That dude Joker has to have a healing factor.
That dude is better than Wolverine type joint. Like, I'm like, look, after all the things Batman be doing to him, it's not like Batman don't be trying. I'm like, the fact that this dude is walking, talking, and is completely fine after any of the times Batman put his hands on him. And it's not like he don't try his darndest to Yeah,
to actually hurt him.
like yes, like he will straight up dog Joker, and like the next day Joker's like, "I'm back, Batsy," and you're just like, "How?"
But
He
this
did
is
the
why
he'll do the
under the
same
red,
thing to like Two Face, and he's a mangled mess for years.
Mm.
bro. This is why Under the Red Hood is one of my favorite like DC anything because when Jason Todd was like, I could understand like you not doing nothing for like Penguin or fucking Sub Zero, but
Who?
it's
Sub Zero,
him.
Who?
That's Sub Zero. What is his
Mr.
name?
Freeze.
Mr. Freeze. I'm tripping.
I was like Sub Zero, like
I was only thinking of like that one subtitle for his episode in Batman Beyond.
And now,
that was the little
my
movie he had,
brain,
yeah.
now my brain is like, Bruce Wayne is in the linkway. I understand. I
Look,
understand.
when they first do MK for DC, they had Batman versus Sub Zero at first, which was kind of hype. Then they changed to Scorpion.
Batman
for
being
for the
like
linkway.
Mortal Kombat don't even rub me the wrong way. Like I'm just like that works.
I'm
He's a
about to make this
ninja.
fanfic. You go ahead.
But
For the
my point
linkway.
is that this man Jason was at his wits' end, saying like I can understand literally any other villain,
Uh-huh.
but it's the fucking Joker, dog. Like it's Joker. He has to. There's no saving him. You have to kill him. And Batman made the point that if he kills him, he don't know what if he can't rationally make himself stop killing other dudes afterwards.
Right.
Because
Some
it's like
Yeah.
I can just easily like give a similar reason to kill Joke, like Two Face, Penguin, Riddler, Bane, whatever. And it's like then you just don't have any self control. One and two, it's the one person that people will champion you for. And it's
we
like
did it. They finally murked this, and the worst part is that the cops don't kill him. I don't know, like they
Yeah,
tried killing
right,
him hundreds of
right.
times.
Like that
I
would
done
have
gunned
happened
him down,
already.
lost my job. I'm like, that's the
But then
Joker.
again, there are people alive that, do crazy stuff. Not as similar to the Joker, I guess, but like they do crazy stuff and they get away with they go to jail. Then
but
they
it's
get out.
like
Then they do crazy stuff again. So
Nobody in fiction has been as like the Joker, just a regular dude with one of the highest kill counts in comics.
mm-hmm.
What?
named and unnamed. Like
Like, nigga. Oh, oh, bruh.
can't help yourself, huh?
It's different.
Crazy.
It's just every time I think about this Joker, I'm getting in the mode and I can't stop myself. I apologize. My point is, there is no reason for the Joker to be alive. And the fact the Joker movie came out and they gave a Joker a solo series in Infinite Frontier, and you're putting all this Joker stuff on, I'm just like, stop, kill him, no more, dog. I can't stand it no
You
more.
sound
And
like
Deathstroke,
Vegeta. Kill him.
See,
yes, kill him.
with the Joker movie, it's like okay, like legit look at Joker as a person, which is like okay, fine, right?
Okay.
Like a, a reasonable take on someone who could be like Joker, and that's not that's I like that. What I don't like is Joker being nigh invulnerable to everything, and just and also somehow being lucky enough to not get got by anything as well. It's just like, bro, everyone got killed on the planet except for you, type joint. Like, why? How is this a case?
He wasn't near Maryland.
That dude, there was a
What
Joker
was
in
it called?
Baltimore.
Deceased?
I still can't fathom that. I'm like, we already have it bad as is, but we don't.
We don't need Joker
DC,
levels
right?
of bad.
Nah, like in DC, they really because when they did the three Joker event, that was basically pointless. One
Okay.
of the Jokers was chilling in Baltimore.
And they said that like explicitly. It's like there's one of them stationed in Baltimore. I'm just like,
Why?
why?
There are two famous characters that come from DC.
Nah. There's been a couple of times where there's been people in being more. What was it in
Deceased?
DC?
Yeah. Say
Yeah,
what?
that's where what's that dude's name? Adam. Captain
Captain
Adam.
Adam.
Yeah, that's where he went nuclear, bro.
Oh man.
I'll never forget that. I was just like, this is exactly why I hate living next to DC, because if anything go down, it's
Like
game over for
Baltimore
us too.
is the first thing to go right after it type joint. Like it's
We're
like
like 30 minutes to an hour away. If something pop off in DC, it's game over, dog. Man,
It's okay, man. It's not, but it's okay.
Things like that make me kind of happy that I live in Ohio, man.
You do not live in
hey,
Ohio. You live where Carriage and them live.
Yeah, the middle of nowhere, bro. Same thing.
my man's
Uh,
hearing like sitar music in the back, like, hey, this kind of jam.
if there's ever a nuke that goes off or anything of that sort, bruh, ain't nothing happening here, bruh. We are perfectly fine. Not a single other country in the entire world is thinking about Ohio, let alone Cleveland.
See, they saw all the memes that people make. Now they gonna go directly for Ohio.
Like the only thing they know about Cleveland for is LeBron James, and that's
Yeah,
it.
they're gonna be like, yo, let's put them out their misery.
That dude
Oh,
don't even
man.
live there no more. That's what's even funnier.
That dude ain't lived here in the past like 15 years.
Yeah, that dude in LA right now living in like 3 penthouses.
Actually, he didn't even live here before then because he lived in Akron.
Even
Oh
funnier.
my god. This
Like that
man.
didn't even claim Cleveland. That's how you know it's crazy.
He was just on the team, bro. Oh man, I am exhausted.
How's league been these past few days?
I am exhausted.
Why you do that?
That's a reasonable and fair response.
Oh. Ah. I guess that's how league was.
Hmm.
So first of all, well, second of all, I guess. Anyway. How's it going, chat? Chose to stream today with my friends. Hope that's cool for you guys. Thanks for coming through and checking it out. I'm gonna be working on these last few pages of the comic here until I guess I'm about done with these initial drawings, and then I'll go ahead and work on them over the weekend and probably get everything ready to be worked on traditionally. But yeah, thanks for checking through and seeing the process of that. Yeah, I checked out Teppen again, literally before stream.
We know. We were there.
They weren't.
I'm sorry, chat. You seen your hero have to go down like this again. I'm sorry.
It's interesting that there doesn't seem to be many different new characters, heroes or whatever they were called. There's not many new additions to the roster. I was like, huh. I've been gone for like 3, 4, 5 months now. Actually, maybe even more than that. There's only one new character. Ada Wong. That's interesting. Why? Why, Keenan?
I've been gone for even longer, so I can't answer that.
It's interesting. I would have thought there would have been more characters, more new characters in the game, but there isn't.
What they started doing is they started giving character skins out. So it's like they'll have they'll have Ryu, right? But like instead of a Ryu being, it'll have the same Ryu deck, right?
Okay.
But instead of it being Ryu itself, it's Phoenix Wright. So like you're still doing Ryu strats, but instead of it's Ryu doing stuff, it's Phoenix just being like objection. It's
The
Shinku
heck?
Doken.
That's
I find that
interesting.
hilarious.
That could be fun. But that's interesting.
And of course, they have an evil Ryu variant, which is Kino.
Do you not like apple juice?
Small.
I haven't listened to this one in a minute.
Lightning Blade.
Looks sharp.
What I miss?
Everything.
Started talking about tapping and how like it didn't evolve as crazy as one would think since we've been gone.
Yeah. It's
And I was saying
interesting.
like
Strong.
Huh?
now
Otto, what'd you
No,
say?
the Keenan. I'll say it after Keenan finishes.
Okay.
I was saying that like instead of adding new characters that like change the meta, like they start adding skins for characters. So like instead of like being Ryu, it'll be like Phoenix Wright or some joint.
Yeah, it's not that many new characters. I think only Ada Wong, that I've seen is like quote unquote
Wong, I thought she was
new-ish.
a card.
Yeah, she's like a main character type thing. No.
But she's actually a character now,
Yeah.
as opposed to just a feature on Purple Joint.
Yeah. Which I feel like I saw her there before, but I don't remember anymore. But the whole thing is like the game hasn't really evolved that crazy. Um and that's interesting because I thought, at the amount of time I've been gone, they would have updated things a lot more.
Mm.
But I'll still check it out. I'll still give it a chance. I'm a little interested. Still could be fun.
All right, I talked too long about DC stuff. I
Hmm.
don't got nothing to say about Marvel right now because they're kind of in their bag right now with the comics, so I got nothing to say about them.
What are they
Actually,
doing? You said they're in their bag?
yeah, but I'm mostly kind of just reading like Thor and X-Men, so never mind.
Hmm.
Oh, did that Black Panther comic come out?
The one with the Alex Ross joint? The Alex Ross
Yeah,
cover
with
joint?
Alex.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. I haven't been reading any American comics recently.
Oh, I just disabled the chat box in League, and I just
Oh.
felt my mental health get better.
Look, sometimes that's what you gotta do, bro.
I asked these people in this game, I'm like, wait a second, I can disable this, right? How do I disable this? And they, before they even got the answer, I found the answer. So
It's
it's like,
felt my
oh, I
mental
don't
health get
gotta
better.
hear no more. Bless.
Bro,
Unleashed. Alright, I'm sorry.
Keenan,
Man.
Midnight got off screen.
Oh
Ooh.
yeah, that's right. She did.
So
So effectively, what happened was, during Giganto Machina's rampage, one of the casualties was Midnight, and like and I'm just sitting here just like
Oh,
I
dang it.
see. That's another example. There's another example of stuff in the fridge. See, now we back here.
Now we're full circle.
I'll never forget it, bro. I remember Mirko doing her whole like
Wait,
3-chapter raid, and
wait,
then Mirko
wait, are we talking
what
about
what?
Hiroaka?
Yeah,
Well,
So
that's that,
Mirko,
man.
we're talking about. Okay, alright. So
yeah.
wait,
Rabbit Girl
wait, she's
was on
gone?
her. She's not gone, but she's severely crippled. Is what happened. Like I think
Oh, the
she
same
lost
thing that
the
happened
lower
with
half
my
of her
favorite
leg or
character.
something.
Oh, worse. Never mind.
What?
We talking about?
She like what happened to Mirko? She got like the lower half of her body like mangled up or something, right?
Like one leg was like torn below the knee. She got a kneecap blasted through, arm mangled, and was almost skewered in half, but she still got the job done.
There was that
Amazing.
girl when they went for the muscular thing. The girl that was on that whole team basically. The whole team that was there when they went on their little camp trip.
All right, calm down. Calm down.
Yeah,
abducted.
yeah, the ragdoll.
Oh yeah, that shit's fucked up. Yeah.
Yeah, she
Like-
got ragdolled.
It was actually
Yeah.
pretty bad because like they explicitly did not say what they was doing to her, and when they just found her and she was like barely hanging on to life and retired the moment they found her. I was like, oh dog, what happened here?
Hmm.
3 out of 4 of the people on that team got annihilated basically, and that whole team got reduced to nothing after that arc.
Actually, it was even
I didn't
funnier
know
too.
about that.
They recently revealed that 13, the astronaut hero with the little black hole joint. They did reveal finally that it was a woman, right? Because the whole time 13 had the astronaut suit on.
Oh yeah, I remember that character. They
So
were in like the
he-
first part of Hero Academia.
It's even funnier thinking about that now because it's like, oh, didn't she get her whole back ripped open in that first arc?
Hmm.
I'm like, oh my god, he was doing it from the beginning.
Wow.
Hmm.
Bro, I never really put these dots together because I just haven't been paying attention like that. But I never really thought about it. This dude really does do that. That's
It's like,
super uncomfortable.
and I'm like, we bash not Horikoshi, well, we do now, but like we bash Kishimoto for doing like women characters terribly, and I'm like, well, Horikoshi do it better. I'm like, he's debatably worse.
He really is, because
Hmm.
it's like he presents a character that you would be like, yeah, I'd be into learning more about that character.
Okay.
And then they catch a huge L. And it's like, okay, it kind of feels like you're just kind of introducing characters to take L's. That's what it feels like. And also, on the other side of the spectrum, there's not a lot of dudes who kind of catch the same type of L's. I can count one person who caught a massive L.
Talking about
and was the
Endeavor?
best genius.
Mr. L, million. But
Oh,
even
yeah,
then, he got
yeah.
better.
Oh my god. He didn't get better. He didn't get his powers back.
That's the thing.
When we tell
Lemillion
him,
never
God.
had any powers. He was just training. I'm just playing.
Well, actually,
I'm just playing. Calm down. It's my favorite
you
character.
know, you know how Aerie be doing joint, right?
Yeah.
So long story short, they just asked her, "Hey, can you bring my powers back?" She's like, "Of course." Word.
Are you serious, man?
I'm so serious.
My
yeah.
brain right
How
now,
long it took
bro.
them to do that though? Like,
That's
it
what's
took
the
them It took them a
problem.
minute because it was like, okay, let's actually bring her into an actual healthy environment. So it's actually a can I as opposed to do it type joint.
Sure.
Look, I'm not
Funny.
defending
Sure.
it. That's just what I saw. But like,
Think about it. Black Clover got better female characters than Hiraka.
honestly, yeah. At this point,
And
There's
it is a
characters
little
in Black
unfair though
Clover?
because say it again.
There's characters in Black Clover.
Oh my god.
I see what you did there. That's funny. That's funny.
I don't
But
get it.
Noelle
What's
is
the
a
joke?
character. The joke is that they're one-dimensional.
it's like,
Ah.
look,
Brad Assistance.
Oh, no, I thought the passes was $7. They go to 12 now.
Does it say 12? It says 12 right now?
you buddy.
He's like,
Yo.
why wouldn't you know that? Why wouldn't you know what it
They can
says?
pick it
Are
out
you
the machine.
trolling me?
Did he say Adele's name? Did he? Or did it sound like he said Adele?
Press the stop button.
I think the worst part about it is that like every time I think about the joint like Horikoshi be doing, the more I'm just like, people really was saying this was like better than any shonen that ever came out type joint. I'm like,
Peak fiction. The manga.
As it is?
I'm just
Yeah,
like,
like-
God, this is just like that's why the joint was killing me because I was just like, Haikyuu, Promised
Forget it.
Neverland, Drop the Stone, and Black Clover are kind of hitting their stride at that like right when all of them were hitting the stride before they ended, I was like, all of these are banging way more than My Hero is right now. Like, what's
I
happening?
just got into Haikyuu and I understand. Like, I
Look,
just got into Haikyuu and I'm
I
like,
was a volleyball fan when I was reading that joint. I was
yeah,
like,
my
that's
wife just got into it. We just started watching it. I brought it up. She was just like, "Yo, like this is what I needed," type thing. And I was like, "Yo, like I've never seen this either." And I'm already like, I get it. I get. There was some sort of tournament thing that was happening at some point. I don't know if it
Mhm.
was Rogers Base or somebody else who was holding the tournament, but it was like, "Yo, what are the best shonen stories or something like that out there?" And I remember Haikyuu basically almost making it to the finals of that competition and beating out some true classics of the medium. And I was just like,
No, I
impossible.
have to hurry
How?
up. I feel like
How?
Look,
Like
I'm still having better time,
Haikyuu
right? I'm
beat
gonna need 10
Slam
days
Dunk
to sign off, right?
just off of
No,
relevancy,
this
I
is
would say.
just maybe
But the Slam Dunk fans, because they voted, right? They voted on who would win
yeah, you
each
weren't even mad,
thing.
were they?
Yeah, and it was just like no, like y'all need to check out Haikyuu. Y'all only saying that because y'all haven't read it yet. If you know how good it was, because most everybody else was reading the battle series, right? They weren't really
Yeah.
checking up on the sports aspect of things. So when they saw Haikyuu getting farther, they was like, "Yo, how is it beating this and how is it beating that?" And I was like, "Yo, how did it make it to like Attack on Titan, One Piece, and what was it, Hunter x Hunter? Like, how did it get up there? Like, how did it get almost into like the final fight? How?" And it was just like y'all haven't seen how good this series is yet. And it took me a bajillion years, but now I'm here and I'm like, oh, I see it. It it's literally, like diet. It learned from all the previous, sports series. It cut out the fat, if you will, and it just made some enjoyable characters, and it's just going, it's working, and I'm like, this is good. I'm already like almost 10 episodes in. I'm like, this is good. It's good. I can see it.
Man, look, I've read a bunch of stuff in my time, and classics, modern day stuff, contemporaries, niche stuff, all that joy. And I'll tell you, like their championship match to get into the playoffs.
Mm,
That joint is up like if you count if we're counting that as an anime fight,
mm,
that is comparable. What's something I can say? Um, like
good. Just say it's up there with the best of them, bro. Because that's good enough.
honestly, yeah, like in the same conversation of Luffy versus Crocodile, Goku Frieza, like the boys versus the championship team.
Uh huh.
That had me gripped, bro. Cause I was like, yeah, there's another like 200 chapters after this, so of course they must like get through it. But I'm like, but what if they don't?
Mm.
And like the way they was playing, I was like, bro, what if they don't, bro? Like what? I was and like in the anime, they dedicated an entire season to just this game.
Did they finish all the anime, by the way? Like, did they actually like?
It's not all the way finished, but like it's getting there.
Okay, they're
And
gonna
like
do another one. Are they
I
gonna do
imagine they should
another?
do. I imagine they have about, I want to say, 2 seasons worth of show they can still do,
Hmm.
if not 3. It really
Nice.
depends how they do some of these games, but like they have a couple seasons worth of material they can still do, and I will be down for all of it.
Hmm.
Cause what was it? Was it Production IG that does it?
Yeah, it's Production
Gunzo? What
IG. Yeah, Production IG.
Production IG they be putting their foot in that joint. I'm like,
Yeah, been enjoying it.
and like I just read the manga. I didn't even watch the show like that. I just
Hmm.
read the manga and like listened to the open. But man, that joint had me like, I'm a volleyball fan now. I'm like, I was like, whew.
It's funny. I feel like the Olympics makes you a fan of everything that you wouldn't have thought would have been popping. Like you maybe you saw it before and was like, yeah, whatever. It's swimming. You see like high level swimming. You're like, wait, that was fantastic. That was amazing. Like, it's just like, oh, I found out like a lot of things like that exist. There's Olympic level everything, Olympic level boxing, like weightlifting,
Hmm.
hockey. I think hockey is something.
Like
Either way, like ice skating.
respecting the physical condition of people's physical conditions to the point where they can excel to a point where it's like their body is literally art right now
Yes.
type joint.
Yeah.
Like
It's
that's
really
why
nice.
I'll always commend like Olympic wrestlers, because like that joint, like they be, not only do they be jamming, it's like when someone that's like a top tier wrestler doing stuff, it's like you can put on he can put on a video and talk about like, all right, this is this is art right here, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yeah, man, I'm just like, but yeah, Haikyuu had me different, bro. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I've been enjoying it. I was like, what's funny? I still have to watch Slam Dunk. Oh yeah, and I told my wife like, what's really good about this show, this Haikyuu? Haikyuu seems to feel very wholesome. And I was just like, you want to know what other show is wholesome? Ippo. And I was like, yeah, wife, we should check out Ippo. And she got to check out at least chapter 1. So she's already kind of a little interested in it. So that's pretty cool. But I was just explaining to her, like, there's other dope, wholesome shows out there. Um, and we should check them out, type thing, like they exist.
Honestly, there's a lot of stuff where it's like you don't have to make things like, you know, grim or edgy. Whereas it's like, look, you could just make enjoyable people with enjoyable series with enjoyable characters that are just kind of be gooning around,
Yeah.
and they're just as enthralling as people that are with the tragic backstory.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Because
that's pretty
honestly, I
cool.
don't think anyone in Haikyuu was like on some extra tragic joint or whatever. They're just like, look, I'm just good at volleyball.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, look, I'm not even saying like I'm on some like villain stuff or anything like that. I'm just good at what I'm doing right now. I know how to serve. I know how to block,
Mm-hmm.
and you ain't getting past me. Great villain. That's all. Look, sometimes you don't need a good villain to be like that. Like sometimes to be a good villain, you don't need to have like a knife to your throat type joint. You can just be like, look, you ain't getting past me. It's just that simple.
Everybody should read Fist of the North Star just to see how far Shonen has come, but to see how far it didn't go.
Mm. Uh.
I agree.
I'd rather read Blacksmith.
I
Mm.
also agree.
I also agree.
That'd be a better choice, but at the same time,
Oh,
that is the funniest read I've had in the grip. I've never been so upset and so enthralled at the same time. I'm just like, this is fucking garbage. This is the worst shit ever. And then I'm like, this is peak fucking fiction, dog. Like, this is amazing, dog. And then I immediately went back to it.
Wow.
Hating it. I love Fist of the North Star. It is required reading for Shonen fans.
Why
oh,
would I have to read it when I have an opinion? My opinion doesn't
I
matter
love
if I read it.
I've already seen it.
Nah,
I've seen Kenshiro.
yeah, I saw him
I
on like a
don't need
box
to
or
read it,
something.
and I
Like
have my opinion, and I am right about it.
your opinion doesn't matter once you read it, man. You gotta talk about it like as if you read it, but not actually have read it. That's the
Right.
only way it works. You know that, Adele. You know that.
I just got nothing to say, bro.
Oh
Just
man.
thinking. Reborn existed. That's it. It just existed.
You talking
Yeah,
about the
bro.
Hitman?
I
Talking
am the
about the
Hitman Reborn.
ex-Bana.
The Hitman Reborn?
I am the sin ex-Bana.
Oh my god.
Look, man.
Bro,
I
I ain't
can
never
never
seen a
forget
scene
it,
that nigga.
bro. That
X.
nigga
It
was
just
like,
look
oh,
at your hand
but
real
I don't
free,
want
dog.
to do
You
it
feel
reborn.
what?
Ex-Burner. I was like, what?
That dude was actually, bro. That's a forever scene for me. He was just like, got the numbers. Expert. I'm like, what's it gonna be?
This is crazy, man.
Look, I think
Saw that.
Man, it was
what was the
crazy,
joint that
bro.
got me like reading the joint where it was just like the little diamond joint, the little like parry joint he did. I was like, all right, how are you gonna beat this dude who can not only fly but do his joint better? How you do this? Like he was like parry. I was like, oh, he
Bro, you talking about the first the what is it, the
Zanzas.
Dying Whip Flame first edition shit when
Like
he was
like
like taking flames and then freezing it and then being like, I'm a beast like that.
like when he just he did ultra parry and just ended his whole career type joint. That joint had me reeling because I was just like, hold on, this dude is basically a grown man fighting this little kid, and he was like Uno reverse card. I was like, man, all right.
Just saying, bro. I just want to feel like how I felt when this man threw out the X burner. You know, I just want to feel like that again. I don't really get that much these days. I just would have like JJK. It's nice. It's a very nice. I'm enjoying myself moment, but it doesn't get me like amped like when Suna says he's about to throw out this X burner. All right, like I felt that.
See, JJK gets me because like anytime homeboy like just stops talking and is just having tunnel vision, I'm like, ooh,
Are you talking
ooh,
about my
what's
boy Ichidori? Though?
like
We on some good shit.
when he just stops talking in the fight and just does that tunnel vision look, I'm like, oh, he about to hurt you, bro.
Yeah, when he stops looking like a happy shonen protagonist and turns into a seinen protagonist, I love that.
I'm like, Itadori, like it's so like that dude's great because he'll look at you straight in the face and be like, no, I had enough of you for real.
I'm
Like
just saying, bro. Man, Suna, dog, he was in his bag. But a lot of the
I'm not
old
even
shonen
trying.
jumpers,
I'm not even putting down Suna. That's why I love. That's why I love Itadori because it reminds me of guys like Suna.
it's just Suna existed, and then Deku happened, and then everybody looked at Deku like he was something new, and I was just like, this is lesser Suna, and you guys have just deprived yourself of good content. That's what this is.
It's just
Yeah.
it's just the new kid on the block that forgetting about the old guys. It's
A Black
Tails
Clover,
all the time. Unfortunately,
Asta is super likable. He's on his grind shit. That man is like, another day to
that
get strong, boy. He's like,
that dude Asta is actually a Sigma male. That's crazy. That's the
bro,
funniest joint that like that's actually a Sigma male.
bro, he took off his shirt, dog, like at the time skip, and he was just stocky and short, like true short king energy, dog. I gotta find that picture, dog. Cause he looks so stupid. I stand. I'm
He's
scared.
like he's more chest than man now. He just
Wow.
Bro, I don't know how this man functions. He is too built for his size.
There are people built like that though.
And it's
that's
funny, Chris, because
what's
I
even
talk to one
funnier.
every day. This dude is 15 years old, dog.
There was a dude that I knew in the football team that was just as stocky as Asta, and I hated it because bro looked like a thumb when he was walking, and he knew it too. So he was like, "Yeah, I know. I'm gonna get bigger too."
That's hilarious.
I gotta find this exact
Gabe?
picture.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, man.
Hey, dude. It's been a minute.
Yeah, how you been?
Been okay. Just been living life, I guess. Working. Just about it. Working, home, sleep. Same routine.
Hmm. You been holding up okay though?
Yeah, been okay. Got ordered some new books and such.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever. How y'all been?
Been okay. It's
Doing
kinda.
all right.
That's cool. Yeah, I missed you guys. I'm sorry I've been gone so long. It's such. It's been, you know.
Yeah,
It's okay,
I can
man.
dig it. Do whatever you need to do.
Hmm. How's y'all been? How's your art been? How's y'all art been doing so far?
I opened up a Patreon. Got 1 follower.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Keenan looking at us.
He
No,
said,
it's
"What
not.
do you for not chasing money?"
I said one follower.
Did you just open it recently, like a day
Yeah,
ago?
like a few days ago. Yeah.
Oh wow. Sure, I'll
Bro,
pick up and get more.
gotta stop being so stupid.
Hmm?
For the time being, I'm gonna uninstall this game.
Interesting.
I just don't have as much time as I did before.
Hmm.
I literally I clicked uninstall and it instantly said the game has been uninstalled.
Dang.
What's the other shit?
That's who's screaming?
Who's streaming?
Screaming. I hear screaming in the background.
Oh, I don't
Scream.
know. I don't hear no screaming.
Oh,
Gabe.
that's probably from my
See,
TV.
okay.
I'm like,
That's not crazy. Nah, that ain't it.
start looking around the room like, is everything all right?
I look at the chat. I'm like, wait, what? What's that?
Nah,
Ain't
that's my
nothing
TV.
happening.
I'm watching this good anime
Screaming.
about bike racing.
You Imawashi pedal?
Yeah,
Hey.
This nigga's in
it's
he's in
like
traffic
Star
still.
Wars with bikes. So far, I know Deku, the voice actor of Deku's in here.
Yuri Lowenthal?
Yeah, he plays the main character.
Okay.
Very low.
You know, man, I saw how fast this nigga Max has to upload these videos
We on
each
stream,
day.
Kai.
Okay, I'm still gonna say what I have to say.
All right.
Yeah, ain't nothing crazy. And I'm just like, I don't know what this YouTuber thing. I don't know, bro. It's just, man, that seems stressful, man.
To upload that
I don't know
quickly.
how he has the time. Yeah, I know he has editors and stuff, but like, man, then you stream. He streams for like 8 hours a day, and it's like, man,
Hmm.
I don't like people enough.
I don't know how he has that much free time. No. I miss you guys.
Miss you
You
too,
just gonna
Gabe.
keep
You
saying
know
that?
where the hell we at, bro?
Yeah, bro, you the one that's not showing up. Like, what's happening?
I don't know. I'm just going through life like it's just a plot.
You don't got to go through it alone. You got us.
He ain't even say yeah to that.
I guess he don't miss us. Damn.
Gabe was like, no, I don't.
Sorry, what happened?
That said
Wait,
he 2016, dog.
It's all annoying, hyped,
You know
stupid
about
shit.
better.
I'm kidding.
Oh my
well, he
god.
didn't say anything to me, did he?
Nah.
No, I
That
just
Okay,
was
was I just was
not paying
saying
attention.
that Gabe didn't say anything. It's kind of interesting. He was like, "Hey, you don't have to go through it alone. You got us." He said nothing.
yeah.
He said scene 2016, crazy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Gabe, how's the art going? How's your art been going? Or how do you feel it's going?
I improved a little bit. Um, yeah, I improved a little bit so far. Yeah, yeah. I don't know what else to say, but yeah, I'm gotten better a little bit. Not like what these people on Twitter you posting this shit's be
There
crazy. But
you go,
Aren't
bro.
you? Don't you be posting on Twitter?
Oh my God, Gabe,
There
shut
you go every
up.
time,
Please,
bro.
for the love of God, shut the hell up.
Every single
Jesus
time.
Christ, man.
yes, I have improved.
My head, man. I don't have time for
And by looks
this,
of
bro.
you, I see I've improved
I
amazingly too.
really just don't have time.
I'm breaking Kai.
Yeah, bro. What's new?
Y'all think they done breaking Benjamin?
Come here. No.
No.
Didn't they? Hmm.
They've been breaking him for a minute, man. I remember remember checking out music and buying albums. Oh look, Breaking Benjamin. It's like, oh, guess they still breaking this dude, man.
Need to break it back. That's what you do.
It's been 20 years or something like that. They still breaking this dude Benjamin, bro.
You need
It's
to break
crazy.
open that book.
Well, evidently they broke up,
Oh,
which is
I hope
yeah.
Benjamin's okay.
He's not.
Well, evidently he's the one that filed a lawsuit against his bandmates.
Oh,
So like you know that one song "Blow Me Away," the joint they use for like Halo and joint stuff like that.
nah, but go ahead.
So apparently, two of his bandmates, the guitarist and bassist,
Mm-hmm.
remixed the song without his consent.
Oh,
Oh wow.
And
okay.
you know they made a deal for the joint through Hollywood Records, and you know made money off of it. But the frontman never, Benjamin in this case, never signed off on that. So he was like, "Hold on,
It's almost
what?
like he was cut out of the
No,
deal.
no." Mm-hmm.
Mm,
And it was like, "Dog, nah, you ain't doing that to me."
right. And that's why they broke up essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Benjamin has been broken.
Then what happened?
But basically, they reformed Breaking Benjamin without Benjamin. So
Wow. I didn't even know there was really a guy named Benjamin in the group. I was just making a joke.
that's what makes it even funnier. Like I didn't realize that joint either. I just looked it up. I was like, "Oh, that's why he's Benjamin."
Ah,
Have y'all seen Squid Game?
I'm almost
no.
finished with it.
Oh my
I
god.
just
All right, I'm about to kick Gabe. About to kick Gabe from the group right
You
now.
already know Gabe is about to say the ending for Keenan, bro. You already know he's about to.
Yeah, he's
Keenan,
just about to say it.
just by you even replying, Keenan, you opened yourself up for spoilers. So you can't be mad at Gabe when he inevitably says what the ending is.
Oh my god.
I will be mad.
I don't
Look
know.
at he's fighting so hard to not say something, bro.
I'm at a Ganbu. I finished the Ganbu game. Like that's
I
where I'm
need you
at.
to look at
Don't
that.
say
Don't
anymore.
say it, bro. It
Don't
don't
say anything
matter,
past
bro.
that point.
Look, Gabe's built different. He'll be like, "Oh, you gave me a ticket to keep talking about it? I'll
Yeah,
spoil
bro.
it for you. Goodbye."
He
I
will
got,
actually kill you
I
mentally,
got,
bro.
I got my finger on the trigger.
I still can't forget the fucking Beastar shit with Nia. Shit's still fucking funny.
Happened.
Oh, that's nothing. Remember the Attack on Titan joint?
Oh
Oh my
yeah,
Ain't
that
that his
too.
uncle?
It's
Near
like,
that.
it's like Gabe. We just got here. He's not seen it. Oh, all right. I understand. Wait, isn't that
Like,
his
yeah,
uncle?
Gabe, we are at this part. Like, so don't say anything about it, but yes, this is the part we are at. Ain't that his
This is the
uncle?
part where
Bro,
Gabe
that should have killed
They
you.
didn't, even
That should
say,
have
really
killed you.
gets mad at him.
they didn't even say it was his uncle yet. That was the funniest.
It was nowhere near. It was like 2 episodes in the future, bro. This nigga Gabe, man. My bad. This person Gabe, man.
Nice. Whole career.
Uh,
Look at this
It's
dude.
hilarious.
I'm dying, bro. It's hilarious.
I'm pissed. I'm pissed.
This man probably got a grudge with Gabe for no reason. He didn't do anything.
No.
Talking to the group was
Oh my god. Where is this
you got a lot
line?
of energy for somebody who's back to it. Can you give me some pills?
Bill's here.
What?
Gabe had to make Patrick take some pills.
Alright. Alright then.
So what was I about to do with this guy's hand? Right. Okay.
I will. What if I made conversation?
Want to use this right? Well,
No. You a butthead, man.
actually putting a lot more effort into this, probably
Now go
because
ahead.
it'll help.
Follow
me.
through. Close the whole door, bro.
So do people still have
Good
40
night.
ounces wrapped up in the paper bag? Is that still a thing they do?
Yeah.
Yes.
We talking about like ever for your hands?
What?
No, he's talking about
What?
they used to put money in a brown paper bag. You don't remember that? You don't remember when they used to do that in movies and shit in real life?
They used to
You
put
never-
what in the bag?
you got? You
Money.
put money in a paper bag, nigga.
Here we
Nobody
go.
knows what anybody's talking about.
This is
I'm talking
He
about the
talking
40
about big.
ounces, bro.
The 40 ounce, bro.
The dude's
It's
talking
big ass
about
bed,
an
nigga.
alcoholic beverage, man.
Still
What's up with you?
reserved, bro.
Why ain't he just say 40s?
I did.
Like he
didn't
said,
say
a
that.
40 in the bag, bro. He said specifically
didn't-
what you just said.
Like I just misheard him.
He
Like
said
you just
Edward 40 hands, and you said
Yeah, you don't know about
You said
Edward
what?
40 hands? The dude with the 240s taped to his hand?
yeah. That's what I
Nah.
thought you said, but it was like no, you're talking about
In
the
real
other
life,
joke.
when people would walk around with the bag, and I always found it interesting how it just looks so like a crumpled bag with like something in it, and all you
They
see
be
is the
crumping
top
that
part.
shit.
All you see is the top part hanging out of the top of the bag, and everything else is crumpled. This is funny to me.
They be crumpling that shit, bro. Gripping that shit.
I mean, cause
Have
like,
you ever
well,
held a
now they're doing
40?
it. They're doing it again now.
They're doing
Which
it
is funny.
again.
Cause like they got rid of plastic bags now, so it's like they kind of have to.
Man, Baltimore's serious about these plastic bags, but won't ever make any type of thing for kids to go to. Yeah, I really love it.
For kids to do what?
Anything. Literally anything.
For kids?
They can collect plastic bags and put it in recycling.
They can eat mud pies. I learned about that in Grave of the Fireflies. Beautiful movie.
Look at that Gabe
It was
gone talking
horrible.
about he miss us.
What?
You watching Yamushi Pedal, bro?
Oh, is that the
man.
I don't know what that is. What is that?
That's the bicycling.
Nah, I don't ring a bell. But wait, guy who rides bike has glasses?
Yeah.
All right,
his
got it.
glasses.
My brain, be remembering stuff.
Oh
Halo: The
wow.
Master Chief Collection is completely free for everyone until October 18th.
That's
So
a
Oh,
slow
download it.
mo.
So y'all
Wait,
getting
what?
that? I don't
That's
really,
niggas love
$100.
signing that shit.
I don't really have an Xbox, so I wouldn't want to play that anyway. I'm good.
Okay, you have
Just
a
punch your
PC.
computer, bro.
Huh?
Just punch your computer.
Wait,
Why would I punch it?
wait.
Oh boy, please no.
You gotta sign your solo away, don't you? How long we waiting?
I ain't tell you to stop, did I?
I didn't stop, bro. I was just asking the question.
Hey, yo, he said, wait, bro. Why you talking, bro? The teachers won't let us
Oh,
out the
wait,
class
never
unless we
mind.
stay.
It's one of those free weekend type beats.
Okay.
Stupid.
Yeah, bro. Why would they ever make Halo free?
That's what I was confused about. I was like,
You sound like
that's a
a
good
British
deal.
person
Hold on.
talking about Halo 3. Halo free?
Halo Tree.
Who am I playing ODST with? Which one of you niggas?
Oh my
I mean,
god.
which one of you people?
ODST. Nah, that sounds like a fun time.
What's one of you buddies you're
Street.
playing ODST?
Which one of
The
my dead
hell?
pals?
I ain't your buddy, nigga.
Whoa.
I ain't your friend, guy.
It's
Chris
kind of
Yup.
just went over.
crazy.
Chris just went over to
Whoa.
My man ain't
OBS
getting
and
no
muted it.
revenue from this stream, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah, bro. It's a downfall.
All Chris gotta do is post a
What are you talking about? I'm so happy. I deafened y'all because Nick is wilding now. You can't bring up comparisons like that, Nick. Come on, man. Oh my god.
Crazy.
I probably haven't.
Yo,
You have, bro.
he was reaching for a pencil. He's like, oh damn, where'd that nigga go? Oh shit.
What?
Hold on, wait a minute.
Oh
Are
my
we still
god.
streaming?
Yeah, we're still streaming.
Oh. If you about to say no, I was about to hit the hardest N word. But yeah,
Yeah.
so like, comics and stuff and all that stuff. I want to reread Lucius Road. Talk to someone about that today.
Nope.
I'm just thinking. Dang fine comic.
Wait, are you still
Man,
laughing?
that that cowboy dude had me different, bro. He was like, I dedicate my life for freedom. I'm alright. It kills a guy anyway. I'm like, oh, this dude crazy.
Man, I'm still thinking about that fucking highway fight scene. Man, that was a good fight scene, dog.
Like he got away too. Like they never caught that dude. He was like,
What,
look,
the
we
cowboy?
got the cowboy. Yeah, they never caught him.
Well, that's because they made amends with him.
Yeah, it was
Nah.
like
They were only there for information.
I
it
mean,
was
no,
like
like they weren't catching him. Like
they had to make amends because they weren't catching him.
yeah, like he gave them information, but he got away at the same time. Like it wasn't like they couldn't
Oh,
they couldn't like run after him. Good luck. Like he was very dangerous. Like
It was like the amount of work needed to actually get him, and what they had. It was like, you know what? He's not worth it. We know where the final boss is. Let's go. Just go there.
yeah, they
Like
just was like,
we
yeah, there's no
died.
point. And they also was
Who has
trying to
better
recruit
rope
him
fighting the final
probably, and he was
boss?
like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna do my own thing.
Why didn't he get a spinoff? That's my question.
Because it was an indie project, and I don't think the writer had anything extra planned for him.
You need to answer that. I know why.
I mean, I looked it up. I saw a DeviantArt article or something like that about it.
DeviantArt.
Yeah,
DeviantArt's not real.
the writer hired him through that type of thing, I think. Or at least they found each other's work through that.
What niggas gonna do when I? Oh yeah, I'm definitely. What are niggas gonna do if I start going by Kaisuke, bro? I'm about to be Japanese, bro.
Why you thought you was deafened? I didn't say I didn't unmute you though. You you man. Uh I'm trying not to laugh. I've already done it. It's over. I understand. Where did you go, Los? You was gone that long? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Oh, the was? Yeah, we definitely muted. What new chapter? It's the same week. Oh, it is. Oh, it's not the same week. What's up? Okay, man. Get some rest. Mm. Good night. Later, man. Okay, must be up here. Yes. Shit. Sorry about that. I hope my pen isn't broken. This is fine. Trying to think about how I want the shadow to be. Let me see if I can look that up. Okay, so something like that, maybe.
line of comics where everyone was like Marvel is trash, just around Civil War II time, right? Or
Yeah.
leading up to Civil War II.
Okay, we're
And
unmuted
It
again.
was it was at Civil War II onward where it was like, nah, I'm not reading Marvel.
yeah, and it's funny, right? Because I think the conversation of people just changing characters to different ethnicities or sexualities or all these things, like, oh, Thor is a woman now, how could you, or whatever, right? But I think it's funny because when we talk about this conversation about having a major character have a change of identity, you have the Thor series, which did it right. Because if you read the Jane Foster Thor, it's like one of the best Thor stories ever told. It's really good. And the way that they challenge the dynamic of how Thor's character is used in these comics by introducing mortality to this character, it's a much different way to accept this character and this mythos. Because yeah, I love Thor, as in the sense that I like these comics because it's really cool. There's a lot of the cool stuff that happens in this comic, but Jane Foster, like comics, had character. It had
Mm.
weight to it. It had a character who I really felt like earned that ancient legendary weapon, who I really felt like deserved that title of hero. And it's not like it's a short comic. It was a decent run,
Mm.
you know, and that's one of those things where it's like a lot of people will complain when it comes to changing character identities in comics. And this thing that they're doing with Jonathan Kent, or have been doing with Jonathan Kent, I mean, this all the way from when he got aged up and everything, is an example of why that conversation even exists. Because unfortunately, at the end of the day, as much as I'm all for representation and all that stuff, the way that they're doing it in comics is so disingenuous. I don't care about it.
Why do
You
you feel
know,
like they're rushing it?
what you talking about, Jonathan Kent?
Why do you feel like they rush things in Western comics? Like rush things as far as plot or I guess development for a character when they could
Just because
actually
I got
do the
30
slow
pages of
burn.
issue.
Huh?
Just because I got 30 pages of issue, and most of these comics come out once a month. So in their time frame of things that need to be done for a year, certain things have to be met when they're releasing issues, and you can see this like really easily when you go through the Jonathan Hickman run on X Men. It's very obvious how they write these storylines. It's like, yeah, we want to do this, that, and the third by the end of the year, and they create a bunch of events to coincide with that. For example, in 2020, the Null event happened, and it was something that
Mm-hmm.
was being led up to for a while, and it was a line wide event.
What does that mean?
Everybody was affected by this.
Oh,
Line wide
a
event means everybody was affected by it.
okay.
So that joint happened, and then everyone was doing a null story of some type during this period of year because
Oh,
it was the null event. It was all to advertise and get you to read the null event, and that's how Marvel's been doing things for years. That's how they do a lot of their events.
right,
You know, this is especially why Civil War is that long.
right.
It's a mess of a comic to read in order.
Unless you read it when it's done.
I don't like what Civil War.
No, just unless you read it when it's done. If you read it while it's happening, it's a mess. If you read it when it's done,
Oh,
it's
that
usually collected
shit
in a
show.
volume. Some.
They didn't start doing that until like recently, actually, like
Oh
putting
really?
events in like single issue type things. Like the only time this is when I noticed they were doing it. The only comic series I've ever seen do the full issue thing that wasn't just a single issue type stuff is the Jonathan Hickman X Men,
Hmm.
because it's built like season one, season two, season three. That's how they built it. It's a three-part seasonal thing, and they release full volume content that says, all right, this is Dawn of X, this is Reign of X, and this is Inferno. This is how they do their thing. And they make it so hard to really enjoy half the stuff in their worlds. Because at the end of the day, it's not going to matter. And legacy characters, and that's female Thor, right? Legacy characters get it the worst because you have a legacy character introduced that, oh, this is a really good change to the character. Like, from a writer's perspective, this is a really good change to the character, but the audience is like, or when's regular Thor coming back type shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like that. The whole goal when Jonathan Kent was introduced was to present the idea that one day Superman will no longer be there. Clark Kent will not be there, and Jonathan Kent will have to take up the mantle. And there's been a lot of Superboys. It's been like three. You
Okay.
know, you got Connor, you got the Superman that appeared after the Doomsday event. There's a lot of versions of Superman, and there was a lot of Superboys, and then you just didn't have one that actually replaced Superboy. It's like this is a mentor character and a mentee relationship that eventually Jonathan Kent was supposed to succeed in. And it's not one of those things where I felt like you needed to rush that because the original run where he was introduced took their time with it because
Okay.
it made you feel how it felt to be in this family. It made you feel how Johnson thinks of the character and how he's developing. And then they took
So
that immediately to Super Sons.
So you're saying that when they're trying to create a new character and they want to do a good run with them or whatever, or a new run, if you will, they do a decent job doing the slow burn process because they're kind of just introducing them. But once they get in the fold, they are rolled into all the major possible events because now they are a key player in that event, possibly. They have to do something. And since they have to do something, they have to essentially fit within the timeline whatever the major new event's going to be in the next coming up and coming months, because it's going to be a event that's going to affect so many different titles. So they don't have time to do the slow individual growth that that character would really need to really work the way they should.
Or even worse, it's super speeds up what they're trying to do, and instead of them doing something that becomes that's organic, it's something where it's like, well, now they're doing this now because like they have to be involved in this event because their guy that's they're supposed to be replacing or did replace, something happened to him, so now they have to step up
Okay.
to screw whatever they're doing in their comic. That what killed me about Amadeus Cho and Incredible Hulk,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because I was like, I don't know Amadeus Cho like that, but I'm gonna give him a try because I'm like, you know what? I was just trying to get into comics in earnest. Like, why not, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Civil War II happened. You can say that about most Marvel characters, but like Civil War II happened, and you know Bruce Banner got bought by Hawkeye, right?
Interesting.
And what killed me about it wasn't the fact that he got killed. It was that like everyone that was a Hulk affiliate, regardless of where they were in their story, their thing was brought to a screeching halt. And it was like, well, we're you're gonna be looked at as a Hulk person, which means you're on thin ice, buddy. To the point where this joint had me this kind of had me rolling. Where they had Black Panther run up on Amadeus in a Black Panther Hulk Buster, and I was just like,
Wow.
I hate it here, bro. Like, bro was just trying to live his life and grieve, and that this dude T'Challa was just like, I am not trusting you at all. And I'm like, bro, I'm not even. I don't even. I'm not even trying to mess with nobody. I don't even care about what y'all doing. I'm just let me be sad for right now. He was like, "You're a Hulk. I can't let you be anything." Just
Like when it
stop
comes to
reading.
modern comics, I think one of the funniest things in the world, right, is DC Rebirth as an initiative, like as a line initiative, was one of the most successful comic book lineups of this entire like post 2000s era, of modern comics. Because what they did was they dumbed down the universe into core titles, right? They still had a bunch of titles, but if you started reading from Rebirth, you understand what the character was because the stories were built in a way where they took from past stuff and then introduced new stuff. So they would re-explain these characters, but won't really explain these characters because at this point everybody knows who Superman is. So they changed it just enough for you to get in at the ground floor and then really enjoy these stories. And the events were worthwhile They felt like they were well built up to, and when they did events, they didn't do what like Marvel did. They did just that event, and it would be that single. Like they would have it all under the same name, and that would be it. And whatever happens in that event would be referenced in other comics, and that's how the way DC would release their comics. One of the issues with Western comics in the current era is the fact that they're so keen on maintaining a universe that they ignore personal stories. They
Hmm.
don't think about like character development and not and these event writers can't like you know use their events to work on characters. It
Yeah.
should be that you should make a team running a certain series of lines of comics with the intention to make the event a way to further those character development. That's how it should be. And with the Jonathan Hickman comics, the way they were coming out, that's what they did. But that's the only line of comics that I really feel like has accomplished a great evolution to what comic books were back in the day. Even when the No event happened and a lot of stuff happening during the Cocoon comics were weird, it worked because what was releasing was only the ones that were in the null event. And then when you came back to all these stories and shit like that, you know, it would reference the null event and then get right back to business.
Hmm.
Like, yeah, these characters were out of commission during this period of time. And because there were certain lines in the X-Men comics that were running during the null event, it still canonized the fact that they're in the Marvel universe, despite all the big stuff going on in the X-Men universe.
Okay.
So it didn't
Because like
feel
one of the first things you saw in the No event was that like a majority of the main X-Men dudes getting swallowed up by it,
Right.
and it's
also
like
Storm catching one of the biggest like dubs
like
in comic book
that
history.
that storm moment lives in my head rent free. I'm like, if they ever do know in any capacity, anime or whatever, Storm has to be involved just for that one scene. Cause that had me losing. I
Look at
was like,
Ray. I was like, that's my girl. That's right.
I'm like less said about that next page, the better. But like that one, peak Marvel.
Man, but it's still like it doesn't matter how good an event can be or whatever. At the end of the day, the reason why it's such like a hard job to even be okay with what's going on with Jonathan is because of Rebirth. Rebirth spent the time on the characters. They spent their time on their development and the way their characters evolved. And then when the event happened, it was more about everyone doing their job in a time of crisis. Makes sense. It didn't feel rushed. It didn't feel like a mess. It didn't become a mess until Batman took over DC.
Hmm.
It it fucking kills me, man, because it's like Peter Tomasi put his whole foot in that fucking issue, man. He put his foot in Superman Rebirth. He put his foot in Super Sons, and because Brian Michael Bendis has what like House of M under his belt, like
Jessica
you gave him
Jones.
the you give him the fucking wherewithal to
He also
drastically
created
change
Power.
your runner. What's Power of the TV show?
Nah, he created something. What was it called? Firepower? No, it wasn't that. It was some crime thing that was worked on. Look, he's done a bunch of different random things. What I'm saying.
And like Spider-Man, like great Spider-Man runs, but like I'm like, all right, you did good Spider-Man stuff and made Miles Morales. That's great, but like you immediately like screw up is not the word I'd say. It's just like you completely take away what Tomasi and them were trying to do for Jonathan Kent and Superman and Lois, if we're gonna be honest, to the point where it's like you can't even really like look at them the same way because like they were definitely not trying to do this during Tomasi run.
They definitely weren't, man. They kept it so small that they actually kept um the whole family on a farm on some nowhere town that's not even Smallville while they were going about the events of the story.
and like that's how you would do a Superman thing, where it's like, all right, he's not he's like really he's not trying to be on some showy stuff. It's like, all right, if I'm just chilling with my people, I'm chilling, and let's have John like mess around and stuff. But when it's business time, it's business. That's why that page turn when Jonathan looked out the window and he sees the train looking at him like with death staggers, bro. Like, that had me losing, bro.
I'm gonna be honest. It was that page that made me start going to Western comics for the art. It was that page because I remember looking at it and it stayed in my head rent free. Because a lot of times I'm reading Western comics, a lot of the images just become forgettable. I don't remember pages like that. But I felt it was a Jonathan. Like I memorized a lot of the Jonathan Hickman X-Men shit and some of the Secret War shit, and I memorized the Tomasi shit. There's a lot of cool like artwork being done in those stories. And you know what's even more crazy is that they're so in a rush to change artists or take their one artist and throw them all around the place that you can't even have a person stay on a series long enough for that series to get its visual image across. Like it doesn't do that. It's
It's
just
like it kills me because like when you see Image, they go out of their way to be like, it's like, word, y'all gonna be a team. Show me what you can do. Like, like go until you're until the cows come home type joint, and that's how we get duos like Kirkman and Otley,
Yeah,
and
and the
and you're
Saga
just like
team.
the Saga team, and the people who
that
did
dude.
Luther Strode too. Like them guys are messing it up in the booth.
Yeah.
Like the Saga team also did Why the Last Man and something else. I forgot what it was, but basically that team went on to do a bunch of good stuff. It's just stop moving writers around, bro. Like
And
you're
like
you're so
Spawn would
scripted.
not be as of a classic comic book character if not for Todd McFarlane dicking with that dude. Like I like honestly like if like say if he was like a Marvel or DC dude, Spawn would be ultra mid if he was a Marvel or DC guy. But because he was Todd McFarlane's first and foremost, then became Image like forefront for Image, goaded.
Hmm. He also knew the importance of keeping a certain people on. So though he did give other people, opportunities, which is definitely amazing and awesome at the time, Greg
Yeah.
Capullo and Todd McFarlane are the artists for Spawn more so. Like Greg Capullo has done more Spawn issues and even like he's drawn more Spawn issues, I believe, than even Todd McFarlane has. So that's why it was a big deal when I think it was issue 301 that he got Greg Capullo back, which I guess was right. It was either in the thick of it of the new DC event that was going on that Greg Capullo's
Uh-huh.
working on, where he got him to do that, or it was over and he got him to work on it. So yeah,
Oh,
it's a
okay.
very big deal. That issue was 70
So
something pages long, supposedly, actually.
didn't Greg Capullo do he did Death Metal and then he did Infinite Frontier, didn't he?
I don't know if he did Infinite Frontier. I'm not as into. I'm not like caught up with like as far as you probably are. But Greg Capullo, he did Owl. He did Court of the Owls, and he also did Death Metal, um, the Batman
Awesome.
joint. He's probably one of the most skilled American artists there is when it comes to the older ones. The older people who are still diligently working on comic pages. He's probably one of the most skilled ones. He's ridiculously good. He's been working in the industry for years, putting in top quality work when it comes to the American industry. So it's very good.
I think it's crazy because like when it comes down to comics, right? The best Western comics that are out in Marvel and DC, the best Western comics and stories from them are always the non-canon single story Elseworld type stories. You got Kingdom Come, you got All Star Superman, you got The Dark Knight Returns, you got all these storylines that just are so memorable and
Old
classic.
Man Logan, stuff like that.
Oh man,
Even when Marvel
Logan.
was concerned, um, and like stuff that was like also stories where like it's so much in a vacuum that like it could that could happen in current day Marvel or an Elseworld story, and it wouldn't skip a beat. Type joint like Double in the Bottle, still a top 5, if not top 1 Iron Man story.
If it's not his best or most like,
Yeah,
one of
if
his
it's
most
not top
iconic
5, is
stories.
one. Like
Yeah, and then you got stuff like Tom King's Mr. Miracle. It's just those and like Wonder Woman Dead Earth, right? Like it's these stories, also Beta Ray Bill, but it's these stories where it has a single team or person working on the story or the art, and it's just they go through the whole story. Those are the ones that end up being memorable. And the fact that you try to
like
continue your universe while you're not working on these single stories and actually trying to make them good, it really just nothing feels good anymore. Especially when you make like 70 Batman comics. And it's what's up with that?
It's what's making money, man.
it's like
Unfortunately, that's just what they do.
because like with stuff like what's a good example, like was it John Starlin or Jeff Starlin who like the
Jim.
big Jim Starlin. Jim Starlin doing Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity War had me mesmerized in the booth, bro. I'm like, I had like until like more like even even with the more recent stuff with like Invincible and stuff like that. I'm still like, I've never seen space illustrated so magnanimously. I was like, oh, space is the dopest fighting stage in history type joint. Like Jim Starlin made that joint look freaking amazing. Like seeing Adam Warlock and his future self like bow amongst the stars. I'm like, that is a fantastic looking image. And I'm just like, but you're not gonna see that. You're not gonna see stuff like that again. Mainly because bro retired, but also like, oh yeah, Ron Lim. That was the artist, Ron Lim. That dude, that dude was killing it in most of the stuff he did actually. Like, that was like the main guy in like '90s and '80s and '90s Marvel. That was like on like extra like psychedelic look to it, and a very bright and contrasting look.
Okay. I feel like you'll see it again, though. I feel like the reason why you have amazing stories that come out of these Elseworlds, what if type things is almost like people who've been reading these comics forever are kind of venting. They're kind of like the those sort of stories the only way where they can breathe, and anyone who gets past that, who gets to do a canon story, it's just lucky, like if they, like, not just lucky, but like, like if they found a way to get it actually in the canon, it's some major event, some big deal, like, they didn't have to do the Elseworld thing, they actually got to make theirs real. And I feel like it's just the creator venting at the fact that they're looking at something that's stagnating that they love. And when something you love stagnates, you just have all these ideas for how to improve it, right? You have all these things that you can think about to improve that thing, to do something different. And when you see it consistently going down that, down that road, you're like, man, I could see, we could do this type of story, or we can do it that way or this way. And then what they do is they just give you a place to do that type of thing in the Elseworld stories. And the reason they work is because they're a limited team. There's like 2 people. There's a writer, there's an artist, or, a couple other people here and there. This is a very small team. They're not making a big deal about it. There's 100 bajillion people on it. You got to worry about all these time constraints with the book. Yeah, you will have time constraints because they're not going to give you as much space to do everything you want, but they'll give you enough to do just enough, for them to get the idea across. I think Wonder Woman Dead Earth was something like 6 issues, you know.
Yeah, it was something like it was tiny
It was only
comparative.
6 issues, but I guess that gives it space to have more tighter writing, uh, and I believe Daniel Warren Johnson was drawing and writing that himself. So I can imagine the longer it goes, the less quality it might become, because he's literally writing and drawing. Also, you have the concept, you know, you got your concept, that's cool and all, but then you have to stress how the writing's going to feel. And every new character, you have to make them have a voice, you know, make sure they talk a certain way and everything. So, yeah, I get it, but it sucks, right? Because if you could double down on these stories that feel like individual growth type stories, you know, they feel slow, they feel isolated also. That's another thing. With a lot of these stories, everybody is everywhere. So whenever there's a big event, they have to always make sure that the major players in the event have to be limited or some way, shape, or form. They can't show up or something like that. They're halfway across the Milky Way or some crap, you know, they just couldn't be there. So when this thing popped off, they just weren't, they couldn't be the answer. They couldn't be the way out, you know? Whereas though when you have the Elseworld stories, they just kind of figure out a way to get around that and have isolated stories. But by them being isolated, you realize that that story is literally meant for the characters that are in it, for at least the main character of that thing. And when you have these major events, it feels like there is one character who definitely gets the bulk of that development, but there's more than them. There's so many more characters that everything touches, you know, and you have to try and do something with everybody. But because you have to do something with everybody, it's a very broad stroke type thing, meaning it doesn't hardly accomplish much when it comes to their character arc. You know, it's a very flat type of change. Yeah. It's almost like these major events are like setup arcs for the actual arcs that are going to give that character more depth, you know, more changes. Even though you think, oh, this is a big character arc, some big stuff is gonna happen. It's like no, big stuff isn't gonna happen to the characters, as far as their development in these arcs. Maybe at certain critical moments they'll do something, but it won't be deep enough. It won't be deep of a change. It won't be. It won't have a certain amount of depth to it at all. It's a very flat type of change. And I think that that's the problem. You go through a 30 book arc and then you get to the end and go, man, nothing really happened as far as this character's character development. Things just kind of happened event wise. And then we just got to the end point of that thing. And now going from that event, you start to be able to possibly get some depth in that change of that character. But through that arc, through that event, you don't get much. And that feels like a time sink, doesn't it? Hmm. It's not cool. Hmm. Oh, word. Yeah, I always like the space effect joint where they kind of use the shadows on the form and then kind of just do like the star effect joint through that. Like that's really cool. I know I've never actually tried to do it myself, but I've always liked the way it looked. What you mean by that? Oh. Well, see, the thing about it is, right? You're talking about something that, in my opinion, is like, okay, space definitely back in the day was something that people used to look up to and imagine, right? They used to look at it and be like, you know, they have hopes and dreams for something in space or from space, right? Space travel, all these things. It was something that you could look at and it would be a source of wonder, if you will, right? So the images people would create of space were those types of things. they weren't something that they would look at a photograph completely for to essentially put something down. It's almost kind of like what you put down should give off a certain like feeling that when you look at it, it reflects the feeling that like the artist wanted you to have when you looked at it, when you saw it, right? Not like oh, this is what an actual space looks like, and I'm gonna put that down and then reflect that to you, the reader, and then you're like, oh, there's nothing special here. I already know what space looks like. These images here is like an impressionistic version of space. That's why it's cool. If you ever look up Jack Kirby and you look up his version of space, it's very similar to this. These sort of shapes, these types of contrast going on, planets literally being just balls of fire and all that good stuff, like and also filled with like so many different things here and there. It's almost like you can get lost looking at each part of each quadrant of the picture of space with the character in it, or planets, or spaceships or whatever. You just yeah.
Reading all of Infinity War and Infinity Gauntlet back to back, right? Well, Infinity
Okay.
Gauntlet being first and all. And I'm just like, first of all, Thanos from every iteration onward looks mid comparison to how he looks here, cause like his eyes are legit like looking at a neutron star.
Hmm.
That's like how he looks in like the Infinity
Yeah,
Gauntlet
how's it going,
story.
Ballpoint?
As a matter of fact, let me pull that up right now. Like how Thanos looked there, I was like, oh, he was kind of yeah. Because what they would do is they'll have him with nothing in his eyes, because eyes are went to the soul. He was effectively soulless, but
Right.
like that's what they're trying to convey. But when he was like doing something that like he was hype about, there'll be a bright white spot in his eye. To be like that'd be him like being like, yeah, I'm ready to do this. This is about to be this is about to be tight.
Right.
Then
So,
he would do the snap.
oh snap.
As a matter
Yeah.
of fact,
Post
this
a
is
picture.
the best example of this.
How's it going, Ballpoint? Just had a chat with me and my friends during this stream and whatnot. Um, it's been pretty cool. Talking about comics and whatnot like that at the moment. Should be about to actually end stream in next couple minutes or whatever, but yeah. Oh yeah, I see what you mean. The eye
Mm-hmm.
spark joint. Yeah.
It's like
It's dope. It's
and
so
it's
much contrast too. It's like you're talking to someone and they literally don't have a spark in their eye. Like almost like they don't have the spark of life, if you will. But the thing that really gets them is when certain things fall into plan, and now it's like yes, it's almost like you. Well, that's literally what it says.
like he's activated. Like, ooh, yeah, let's go. Like this other joint I just posted
Hmm.
where he's like, you know what? You're right. I've been bugging. I know what to do now, and his eyes are shimmering. I'm like, every version of Thanos, visually speaking, has
Hmm.
been mid as hell to me because of how he looked in Infinity Gauntlet and Infinity War. I was like, oh, this is crazy. Let's go.
You know what's funny about that? It's funny because he's technically the main character of Infinity Gauntlet and Infinity War. So the amount of attention on him is probably
Like,
drastically different. Whether like it's different from him just being a quote unquote villain out there for them to fight or something, the
this is his story.
exactly. So the focus is kind of pulled back from him, right? We don't get to see him so up close and stuff like that. But when it's like a Magneto story, same thing. Like when we get a Magneto story and it's from like that guy's perspective, and we're up on him, they give him a certain level of extra detail, certain level of extra, I would say even aesthetic, because we're gonna have him, we're gonna be drawing him so much. He's not just some guy we're gonna fight or be in
Like
the background of the story. It's interesting.
that is Mr. Eric Leshner, like Eric Maximoff, wherever you want to call him. That is
Mm-hmm.
the Magneto. Like, and that I do like when they do that, but like with Thanos it was like the most apparent for me, cause I was just like, oh, every version of him afterwards was like, you're some purple dude that's mad, but like with this, he's like nothing. I don't like anything aside from death. Anything that's not related to death, literally, I cannot care less.
Right.
But when death's involved,
Yeah.
I'm all ears.
Yeah, he's definitely built different in this version of him, I would say. They definitely, I don't think they would have touched him if they had to work with this version of him in the live action joint. They'd have left him alone.
Like
But I love that, because what if we actually got a personification of death? That would have been freaking crazy. Like if they really tried to personify death like how he saw it. This obviously is very attractive woman who is sitting there in the underworld who he's trying to impress. Like that'd be kind of crazy.
And like I feel like making it a more realistic thing of it, where it's like, okay, trying to conserve population stuff, population control. All right, that's a whole different thing, which is not bad, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, it actually made me more interested in Thanos than normally is. But like, this is like a Shakespearean villain, whereas like I'm obsessed with an idea to the point where I will go to the ends of the universe actually to go see it to fruition.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is and like the whole thing with Thanos and why it's so like why it works for me, because it's like he's like a Macbeth-esque character, whereas like I effectively can't die. So death is the only thing that really gets me going.
Yeah, Ballpoint said they would end up using Hela from the Thor films as death, which will be extra strange and interesting at the same time, because that's literally
that's the best thing. Yeah,
that's like Thor's sister, right? Like like
yeah,
like
it is Thor's
technically,
sister.
yeah, like in the Jeez, that'd be extra odd. But dang, it would have been extra interesting at the same time, right? Because like he's had dialogue with her. He's gotten beat up by her essentially, and everything. So like, man.
And now you vibing with the guy that destroyed us.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
yeah, that's crazy. Oh man, could you imagine like that happened in Asgard, and like she's just sitting up there like on the death stuff, and then she's like, "Oh, you into me? I'm not really into you. But like, how about you kill like half the universe? How about that? Bring me some visitors." Oh man, that actually would be crazy. Ballpoint said, in myth, Hela is Loki's daughter. See, that's extra meta, right? That's like it's extra meta, because like didn't he kill Loki like in the movie? So it's like, dang, like,
yeah, he killed Loki. Yeah, so it's like and that would be like I did something for you that you never could do yourself. I killed your dad. Or I killed your brother. Either way, like whatever you want to claim as, I killed him for you.
Jeez.
It's like, so what you doing later?
No. Oh,
I mean, that's how you be talking to Lady Death.
That is how we be talking.
He be talking to Lady Death like, so what you up to? Oh, you taking Soulsy Underworld? Man, can I come with? I mean, you don't mind, right?
I feel like they definitely made him more approachable with the like his daughter type thing, like the whole like how much did it
Nebula,
cost you? Yeah, was it Nebula?
Nebula, and Gamora.
Yeah, I was saying Gamora even more because he was looking at Gamora like when it was all over, and she was like, it was like, yo, like he's like, I did it. And she was like, how much? Like, what did it cost you? And he was like, everything. I feel like they tried to make him some sort of sympathizer,
Sympathetic.
like yeah, like some sort. Yeah, and I was just sitting there like, yeah, y'all couldn't have handled the guy from the comics, man. He was built different. Like he wasn't trying to get nobody on his side. He was good. He was like, nah. Not to
Like,
mention the people who he rolled with, like what do they call the
was
Black Order? Like man,
yeah, the Black Order. They was awesome. There was some great.
they
Yeah,
are man. The comics they be like, hey.
like they
Uh,
was scary.
they was like, hey, I just showed up and I just want y'all to give up y'all firstborn of like
So
what every creature on the planet, huh? Yeah, like everything. I want your firstborn.
it's like all y'all smart, right? So y'all know what I'm talking about. All right, chop chop.
That dude was different. He was ripping
Like
people
what was the
apart
joke?
in the comics. Yep.
I remember it was like the Accords, like the joint that led to Secret Wars.
Yo,
The Black
Secret
Order ran up
Wars
on
was
Recorder.
insane.
Like they ran up on Wakanda. It was like, so we're killing everybody here. Y'all know this, right? So either come willingly or we're gonna rip you apart by force. Either
They
way, you're dying.
literally was using the incursions as a training arc. Like, do you understand how insane that is? They literally was
Yeah.
running up on people in the incursions, just just being themselves and getting stronger. Like they was like, wait, like the more we fight, the better we get at all the people who we fight. And then they start realizing there's factions that they always go against. It was like there's either a team of Avengers, there's a team of Fantastic Four, uh there's this or there's that, you know, there's the only like people that really they have to worry about when it comes to the Marvel universe, when it comes to teams that are together at least on Earth already, since the incursion point seems to be Earth. And it's like every single time they kind of just get better at fighting them. They eventually figure out the strat, you know, this version is, you know, they figure out the little differences and they just end up winning and they get better at it and faster at it, to the point where as well they ran up on who was it? I think it was Professor Xavier. And they had made a game out of just figuring out how they could get him to mentally break essentially, because they've already done this over and over and over again. They knew he couldn't win. It was it was just real bad. The same thing happened with Fantastic Four. I think they ran up on dude as well. It's like you're not gonna be able to win. We already do this. We've killed so many of you guys. It is insane. I was just like, nah. Anybody who uses the incursions as a training are kind of built different. Like, yeah. I wish they would have ran up on themselves, but that would have been crazy. Like, could you imagine?
It's like,
Could
you
you
know what?
imagine
Like
if they ran
I've
up
been
on
doing good.
themselves? That would have been amazing, actually. If that was a part of the story, man, that would have been insane.
Like Thanos for like one last thing. They'd be like, all right, I'm only bringing one of y'all. Like y'all gonna have to fight amongst yourselves to see who comes in. He was like, consider it done. I've been hitting the gym lately, and like they started fighting. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, could you
Like
imagine the Black Order versus Black Order, and the next thing you know, they just end up fighting each other, and then like there's like a different version of each person from the Black Order, but none of them can beat Thanos anyway. So it's like he's got a whole different team mixed from different universes of the Black Order. Oh my God! Like they're the strongest members of the Black Order from a multiversal standpoint, essentially. Uh,
yeah, like the multiversal Black Order.
that'd be too much. It'd be too much. The ultimate version of Proxima Midnight, ultimate version of Thanos, ultimate version of everybody else. I only remember Proxima Midnight because I love her name. I love her name. It's cool. But man, it's kind of crazy. Think about. What happened with everybody? Where'd everybody go?
Everyone was just gradually leaving as we were talking.
Uh,
That's crazy.
All right, let me cap off this stream with thanks for everybody who ends up checking out the stream. It was pretty fun. I've gotten to the end page. The reason that guy doesn't have a shirt on, if you will, or anything like that, is because his outfit is not final yet. So I'm still going to be working on that. But for the most part, I got the props, I got the background set up for what I'm going to have to inspire me to finish the page. I got the flow set up for this. Should read fairly simply, and I like it. And yeah, I just have to look over all this stuff throughout the weekend and end up finishing it. So after that, I'll be getting ready to do traditional streams again. So be sure to stay to tune in for that on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday of next week. I'll see you guys next week, everyone. Thank you.